Okay, so today we are going to be using TAO with FURINA. I use TAO in every Spiral Abyss with her traditional double Hydro team, and she's been on top of the meta for years now. So I want to see how this new team stacks up against her old team, see how easy it is to play, and see how good it is. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the Spiral Abyss. We are going to be playing her on first half. I know there are a lot of Abyss Heralds, I believe, Pyro ones with Pyro Shields. Let's just see, yeah. Abyss Lectors, rather, sorry. So yeah, there's quite a few Abyss Lectors. However, we're still going to go TAO anyway, because we do have double Hydro, so that should be able to help us shred our their shields. I picked the wrong anima from Mondstadt there. And then on the second half, we're just going to do ourselves a little Novelette team. And yeah, that's it. And let's just get right into it. I have high hopes for this team. Alright, so Chamber 1, what but oh, and we get a HP buff. That's nice. That increases the damage of our TAO, our FURINA, and our Yelan. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I feel like I should probably use FURINA's stuff first. We probably don't even need to heal there on Jean, but oh well. Oh my god, this part isn't hard. This part's just annoying. But let's see, we're doing pretty decent damage. Let's see, okay, we do 114k on our ult. That's decent. We didn't have our max FURINA buff, so no wonder. Okay, we need to make sure we time our rotations right. So I feel like maybe I should do FURINA, then Yelan, then Jean, although we will have to wait and see. I'm struggling to see how much we're doing on the charge attack right now. Okay, interesting. Let's see. These guys do quite a lot of damage, so it's a good thing we have Jean's healing, otherwise we could be dying here. Okay, we have 198k on our ult, that's nice, we're doing better. Still no max stacks on FURINA, I believe. Or maybe we do, I'm not sure. I already forgot, if I'm being honest. That's slightly annoying with our energy there, we aren't able to funnel Yelan. However, we're doing pretty good timing-wise. I think we should be able to get it in about 90 seconds-ish, which, you know, is normally around the goal, and I normally try not taking more than, like, about 100 to 115 seconds. We've basically defeated all the... Honestly, I don't know what these guys are called. I just call them the balls. We basically... Okay, yeah. There we go. 90 seconds. That's probably on par with, like, the traditional double Hydro team. But, yeah, so far, no complaints. Slightly squishier, but, yeah, I'll just finish this half with our Novelette team. And then I will meet you guys on the next chamber. Okay, and here we are on chamber 2. We do get an ER buff, although we don't really need that because we got quite a lot of energy anyway. Although I guess maybe it will be more useful for the second half. Oh well, who cares. Okay, we don't have our ults. But this chamber is very easy, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Also, we will probably get our damage buff almost straight away because of how damaged our characters are. Let's see, do we get it anytime soon? Okay, I was kind of expecting it there. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we did 84k there on a charge attack and 116k on an ult. I feel like we could have done more damage there. It's definitely interesting. I feel like maybe the Xingqiu and Yelan team might be a bit more consistent in terms of damage because you are relying on the healing here. Although it's not too big of a difference. We're hitting 60k on charge attacks currently. 65k. Okay, we hit 140k on the ult. Okay, the thing with the FURINA team is there's a lot of variation in your damage depending on how many stacks you have. So the better built your FURINA and your Jean are, the more damage you will be doing. I should also note out, I think... Okay, so I don't have a level 10 ult on FURINA, currently speaking. So that might also be part of the reason why the damage is slightly lower. But we did hit... Okay, we're now hitting about 87k. We had both the Yelan and the FURINA buff basically max out, and we were able to hit 87k. So that's pretty decent, and we do a good job clearing the chamber once again. So I will see you guys on the next half. Okay, and now on chamber 3, we do get ourselves an EM buff, which is definitely useful. We don't have our Jean ult currently, but that's fine. Hopefully we can get it from Fav procs, I will hope. Let's hope these guys can group up together. Okay, nice, that's big. Okay, good. Because the problem always in TAO teams is a lack of grouping in AoE, because TAO's main weakness is probably sometimes AoE scenarios. Unfortunately, we didn't kill the other gunner there. Did we just hit 202k on our ult? I think we did. That's pretty huge. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the edge so we can bait these guys together and then hopefully damage them at the same time. I'm just gonna proc my FURINA ult now, and that should be good enough. Okay, he did just knock us back, which was incredibly rude. Okay, our rotation here isn't the best, but we still should be able to get away with it. Okay, unfortunately they're not grouped up how I would want them to be, but it's fine because we can probably just burst both of these guys down. We hit 192k there, which is nice. Honestly, I think a lot of that is the EM buff we got from this chamber. And I will admit, my Hu Tao doesn't have the most EM. I have literally no substats of EM. It's just the 187 I have from my main stat on my goblet. But we're actually doing pretty alright here. I will be honest, this clear isn't the best. It would be better if we did group them up together. When it comes to damage, you know, this team's doing very well. It's doing basically just as well as the Xingqiu and the Yalan one would do. If you don't have a problem with damage, I feel like, honestly, I maybe would go for the other team, for this Spiral Abyss specifically, just because it has more Hydro applications, so you can burst these Hydro Electric Shields down a bit more. But I'll get onto that very shortly. Let's just focus here on clearing this, and we should be done in about 105 seconds, which, not perfect, but it's good enough. We'll take it. Considering how scuffed my clear was and how I was unable to group him, I'd say that's pretty decent. But yeah, whilst I would normally skip this part, instead I will just give you guys my thoughts on the new Hu Tao team. So, compared to the traditional double Hydro team with Xingqiu, Yalan, and Zhongli, I do feel like this one is a bit riskier to play. I feel like the reward is higher because if your characters are well invested, I feel like the FURINA team is better. If your characters aren't as well invested in, you probably won't realize the buffs from FURINA as much, at least that's my opinion. If you're also newer to the game, you might rather play with Zhongli rather than with Jean, just because you have 100% uptime on Zhongli's shield and you don't have to worry really about getting hit or taking damage, because you have the damage reduction from Xingqiu and the Zhongli shield. So, honestly, I feel like if you don't need the damage, you can just play the regular team, because that team's just easier to play and more comfortable. Like, you're less likely to fail with that team. But if you do need the damage, I definitely would recommend the FURINA variant. But with that being said, let's just get into the builds and some final closing thoughts. Okay, so here I am having to re-record this section. Okay, so when it comes to our character builds, our Hu Tao is on 75 crit rate and 230 crit damage. She does have Staff of Homer. This is my one limited banner weapon, and I love it. We are running her on Crimson Witch, and not running her on Marriage to Say. I know some people rather run her on Marriage to Say. If you don't have Staff of Homer, maybe it's a wise investment. I'm not too sure actually on the math on this. I'm sure there are better sources of information. But just quickly going through the main stats and the substats. Our artifacts could be better, but I think they're pretty decent. We don't have a C1, unfortunately. She is C0, although she is triple crowned. Our FURINA, since I had to re-record this, and this video is coming out slightly later than when I actually recorded it, our FURINA has changed a bit. She is now 64 crit rate, 193 crit damage, and 173 ER. Her talents now are 269. I believe during recording, her ult would have probably been around level 7, which is why, honestly, I feel like maybe I undersold FURINA a bit. Only if you need the damage. If your Hu Tao is invested high enough into to the point where you don't need more damage from FURINA, I'd just stick to the old FURINA team. Sorry, the old Hu Tao team. She is C0. She is in Golden Troop. Just quickly, again, running through the artifacts quickly. Yalan, 60 crit rate, 172 crit damage, and basically 200 ER. Have her on Fav, 4-piece emblem, as you would expect. Honestly, I don't know how much ER I actually need on these two, considering the fact I'm playing them in double Hydro, but I'd rather be safe rather than sorry. 1610 talents. Our Jean is on 117 talents. We have Viridescent to swell Hydro. I'm not actually sure how to swell Pyro. There probably is a way in this team, although I would not know. So, if there is a way to swell Pyro, my apologies, I do not know. But yeah, she's got 223 ER. Now, when it comes to the other half, our Neuvillette, 51 crit damage, 51 crit, 188 crit damage. His build isn't amazing. It is swapped around a bit. But yeah, those are our builds. Now, once again, I just want to reiterate some final thoughts. So, Hu Tao is very good. You don't need FURINA. Sorry, Hu Tao is very good. She doesn't need FURINA. But if you do have FURINA, it will make her better. It will take a bit getting used to. It's not as easy to play as the old team. But if you need more damage, it's worth it. Now, when it comes to future Genshin videos, I still have a video coming out on how good Al-Haytham is with FURINA. I also want to use Risley in the Spiral Abyss. I already recorded that, however I used him on the wrong half, where the last boss has 70 cryo res, so I'm going to need to record that again. After that, we also for Honkai Star Rail videos, I don't know when it's coming out, but I also have a video pulling for Hanya on the Silver Wolf banner, so we'll just have to find out if we get an early and if we get a Hanya or if we just get incredibly unlucky. But yeah, that's it for many of our future videos coming out. Stick around, subscribe to see all future videos, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.